shit. This 1,000. Spin that shit. Spin that shit. Spin that shit. Shit, you coming? Spin the check and get it right back.
What's going on, guys? It's your boy Eazyy TV, bringing you guys another Division 2 video. Right now, I have another build for you guys. You guys have been requesting a skill build. Since the skills have been buffed, I am here to give you guys the build that you guys been asking for. I actually have a lot of fun with this build. Before I get into the video, I just want to give a shout out to Jasamian. He actually helped me critique this build a little bit better than what I had it before, and he gave me a better understanding of what the BTSU gloves do and how strong they fucking are. These gloves are phenomenal. I do want to say this: if you have a skill build and you're not using the BTSU gloves, I recommend that you guys use those gloves. Your build that you have right now as a skill build without the BTSU gloves is not at the max potential that they can be at. The BTSU gloves put any skill power build at the max potential that it can be at. So you can be running seekers, healing seekers, fighter drones, bomb drones, assault drones, anything like that, turrets, whatever. You guys want to try to implement or try to put in the BTSU gloves with those kinds of builds. All right, so let's get into the build. Of course, I'm using my Eagle Bearer. As you guys always know, I am always going to use my Eagle Bearer. I'm using a MG5. You don't need this weapon. The only reason why I'm using this weapon is because of rooted. As you guys see in the thumbnail, we were at 480% damage. That's without rooted. If I added rooted to this build, like all together, if I added rooted to this build, we'll be at like 505% skill damage. So we're at 480 just from what the build give us with the gloves included. And if I add rooted to it, we'll be at 505. All right. So get you a gun with rooted on it. Rooted is not bad at all from what you guys see. You get 25% skill damage and healing for 10 seconds. All right. So just go ahead and get that. All right. So the mask that I have is a skill power skill haste mask with destructive on it. The chest piece, it's a Alps chest piece, which gives you 20% skill haste. You need skill haste. And I have rolled 30% armor on it, 837% skill power. Now this chest piece right here, you won't get the total armor, but they do have the chest piece. It comes with 837 skill power on it, indestructible. It is in DZ East vendor location. So if you guys have not got a chest piece like this, please go to the DZ East vendor location and you guys will be able to get this chest piece. All right. And then there's all the mods for that. The holster, it's an ongoing directive holster, has skill power, skill haste, which I wish it had more skill haste. The highest that I've seen is like 46% skill haste, but this is at 28. It's doing me just fine. For some reason too, when it comes to seeker mines and stuff, you can't get seeker mines past 10 seconds. I haven't seen it. Like I've tried it and I've tried all skill haste and it stops directly at 10 seconds. All right. So, there I have the 2 yellows right there. And then I have 2 mods, 2 yellow mods. Now I know some of you guys are going to be like, well, why are you not doing like a DNH or something with destructive on it? It really doesn't matter in a sense, because with the BTSU gloves, every yellow that you have for the BTSU gloves, it gives you 10% duration. Let me see. It gives you 10% duration, 10% skill damage, and 10% healing and repair. So in a sense, in total on this build without destructive, I have 40%. Now, if this piece right here could have got destructive on it, I'll be at 60. But I don't have that. So I can show you guys another. If you guys don't have this, you will go with another DNH like this one, which would give you 4 basically yellows. So you will, not 4 yellows, it would give you 3 yellows, but at the same time, it will compensate, you know, whatever the case may be. So is it 3 yellows? 1, 2, no, it gives you 2 yellows. I'm sorry. So you get the skill power, and then you get a utility slots with with the BTSU gloves, that's 20. And then with destructive, that's another 20%. 20 plus 20 is 40. You have 40% explosive damage or skill damage, however you want to say it. They're both in the same playing field. All right. So that's the reason why I didn't go with that. It really doesn't matter. And to be honest, my other build, my other one has more skill power and it has skill haste, which is the ongoing directive. And this does it. And I can't lose any skill haste. So if you could, if it's possible to get a DNH holster with skill power, skill haste, a utility slot, and destructive, by any means, go for it. But if you can't, which I haven't seen, I will go with the ongoing directive. All right. So the backpack that I have is a Gila backpack. It has 2 blues and a yellow. It has on the ropes destructive, and there's the mods for that. The only thing I would change about this backpack, I will take away the health. You're not going with any type of health. I will go double the armor. So double up on the armor on the backpack. You can go with more skill power on the ropes and destructive. The only reason why I have on the ropes, because I am a shooter at heart. I like shooting. I like using my Eagle Bear. I like using my LMGs. So at the same time, I kind of want my weapon damage as well, even though I only have one and I'm not hitting super hard. So I kind of want my on the ropes. If you are not into that and you just want to use your skills over and over and over and don't really have to shoot your gun, you can go with tech support or you can go with skilled. All right. Tech support and skill would be the thing to do, especially if you're doing some type of PvE. This build was meant for PvP, but it works phenomenal in PvE as well. And to be honest, how strong this build is, I one-shot everything in the DZ. I one-shot everything inside of the DZ. Players, everything. It does not matter. All right. So like I said, there's the mods for that. The gloves are the bread and butter of this build. I just want to go over the infusion part of this build so you guys can understand where the damage is coming from. All right. So for the energy fusion, it says while infused, you gain 10% skill damage, skill healing and repair, and skill duration for each yellow that you have, basically each electronic. I have 13. I get 130% from these gloves. From the yellows that I have, I get 130%. So I get 130% extra skill damage, which is basically explosion damage. So like I was saying before, you can have a build without these gloves and roll as much destructive as you want to. That build will not be able to outdo the BTSU gloves just because of the energy infusion itself. All right. You guys remember I told you about if I added rooted, it'd be 505% skill damage. Also, if I use charge proxy with rooted and everything else active, I get an additional 50% damage for the enemies that has the charge proxy thing. So I get a 50% more damage, which will put me at 560% skill damage. Think about that. 560% skill damage if I can get all my stuff to proc. So consistently, you're going to get 480, which is way more than enough. I'm just doing the extra being over, I'm overdoing it. I'm overdoing the build by putting rooted on it and trying to get charge proxy and stuff like that. But you don't need all that. But just think about it. 560%, not bad at all. All right. And then there's the mods for that. And then with the knee pads, I have a China Light, of course, to get my 10% explosion damage, and then skill haste, and then destructive with that one mod as well. Run a demolitionist, because demolitionists give you 25% explosion damage, or whatever it is. It's explosion damage. So with the skills that I'm using, I'll be using clusters. I usually start off with clusters. If I go into the DZ, I'll use the big bomb that give out the more damage so I can one-shot people. But I'll go with the clusters first, especially if I'm PvEing, and then I have the Firefly. And as you guys can see, I have a 66% damage, 84.9 and 92.8 damage mod. So it gives me a lot of damage right there. And at that cooldown, you're at 21.3%. Me personally, I take away the 66% and I run the 189.5% skill haste mod, so I can be at a 10-second cooldown. Even though I am losing damage, it doesn't matter because I still one-shot everything anyway. So that's those three mods are just putting out the max damage that you can get, but at the same time, I want my skill haste there and I want my stuff to come back faster, so I go with the skill haste. All right, so with the Firefly, I don't really have really good Firefly mods like that. I wish I had another skill haste mod, but I get 15.5% on the cooldown. I have blind duration, which leave the enemies blind longer. Skill haste at 149, and then 1,000 on the Firefly skill power, which I don't need because I'm at 3,000 skill power already. But it's just there because I don't have nothing to put there. All right. So I'm gonna just show y'all how this build works. All right. So we're on very hard difficulty. I do have gameplay. Yeah, I do have heroic gameplay. Heroic was kind of easy to me for this build too. Any other difficulty is just way too easy because you one-shot everything. But heroic took a little bit of time, but it still was kind of easy. All right. So this is what the Seekers do without any of the buffs. Just regular Seekers, damage Seekers, or whatever you want to call it. You know, just what it is with the build. It blows up everything. Everything is wiped out within a blink of an eye. We're gonna call this the THANOS snap build. All right, we're gonna call this the THANOS snap build. Once I drop this bad baby, everything disappeared. All right, so we're gonna get this back. At the same time, I'm gonna show you guys what I mean by I'm gonna take away. Let me see. I'm gonna take away one of the damage so I can get some skill haste, so I can get it back faster. And at the same time, even though I lost damage, it's still gonna blow up everything because the build is just strong. So it left that one back there, but as you guys can see, it's still very strong and it still blows up things. We're going to do it one more time, and then I'm going to show you guys how to properly use the BTSU gloves. All right, so now we're going to drop one more Seeker. All right, boom, it blow up everything. That is no buffs, no nothing. That's just the Seeker alone. Okay, you can do rooted as well. I'm gonna do rooted for you guys one time. So what you would do is you would hit cover and stay there. As you guys can see, that logo at the bottom left is there. It got a timer. Now you got an extra 25% damage. Sometimes, from what I've seen on these cluster Seekers or the big Seeker, sometimes the damage doesn't hit them all the way. I never understood what was the problem with that. I ran into that a few times, but it is what it is. All right, so that'll come back every 60 seconds for that. Now with the BTSU, fireflies, foam, fire, poison, gas, whatever you want to call it, is all status effect stuff. You have to put enemies in status effect to get them to activate. So as you guys can see right now, they're blue. Boom, they're under status effect. They're going to turn red, as you guys can see, and everything is on status effect. And then that's when 130% kicks in. Nothing survives that. Nothing survives that type of explosion. The only thing that survives that explosion are the big guys that have that one big ass armor bar, and it take a whole bunch of bullets to knock their armor off to kill them. Those are the only ones. But the ones that have even the name bosses with the mini bars or whatever, the whole bunch of bars, they still almost, in a sense, on challenge and get one-shotted. So once again, you will use your Firefly or your Chem launcher, foam launcher, whatever you have. You will go ahead and activate those. They're already infused anyways. And then you will throw that down and it's going to destroy everything. Every single time this happens. All right. So I want to break down the damage that this build do, even though you guys see it's at, well, it's at, you know, 500K and then you at 1 million. It's more than that. My big one that I do with the big Seeker is probably like the highest that I've seen that I've put out was like 3.8 million damage or something like that. And then this one is almost 2 million damage just from the clusters when you activate these bad babies right here. All right, so I want to just go ahead and just do a quick little calculation on the damage so you guys can get an understanding where this damage is actually coming from that I'm so-called claiming to have. All right, so if we go ahead and look at the build, we have destructive, which destructive gives us 20% explosion damage. All right, so we're gonna go with the mask. That's 20% for the mask. We're gonna do the chest piece, which is another 20%. the backpack, which is another 20%, and a holster, which is another 20%. Altogether, that is 80% damage that you have on just those pieces. 80% damage. All right. So now we're going to have to calculate the yellows. So for every yellow, you get 10% damage or whatever the case may be. I have 13. That would give us 130%, and 130 plus that 80 would give us 210%. All right, so we had 210 right there. Now let's go to our damage mods that we have. We have 66% there, 84.9 on that one, and then 92.8 on that one. That will leave us at 453. That's 453% right there. And then let's go ahead and add the 25 that you get from Demolitionist. That gives me 478.7. And then I also have a explosive mod right here, 1.5%. That gives me 480% damage. That's not included rooted. That's not included rooted, and that's not included with what is the other thing? It was rooted in something else that I said. Oh, charge proxy. So if we go with rooted, which rooted give us 25%. Rooted give us 25%, so we can add that 25 there. So 480.5 plus 25, that would give us 505, like I said. And then if we go ahead and add, charge proxy to it as well from the gloves, and we get that all procced at one time, I get an additional 50% damage. We are looking at, I'm sorry, 555.5% damage, not 560. My calculation was off. 555.5% skill damage. That is insane. All right. If you guys enjoyed the video, man, I know it's a little lengthy, but I want to break it down so you guys can get an understanding on what you're doing. Always, like I always tell you guys, this is a blueprint. Don't ever copy and paste. Run the build that is perfect for you and your play style. You do not have to do it like this. Some people will want less armor, more health, whatever the case may be, or not too much skill power. Me, this is perfect for me. So take this blueprint of a build, make it to your fitting, and, you know, do what you do with your build. And I'm just proud of you guys trying to make some type of build or whatever. All right. But go ahead, leave a like up on this video. Also leave a comment down below. I will have the link in the description, like I said, from the BTSU gloves on how I actually got them. There is gameplay coming up. You guys check that out. It's your boy Eazyy TV, and I'm out.
Behind me! Change position! Jesus fucking Christ! Help!
Reinforcements incoming. Detecting additional hostile contacts. Broadcast detected.
You're fine now.
Heavily armored hostile detected.
Where'd they go?
Hostile broadcast picked up.
Help! Help!
Supply room access unlocked.